If I wasn't working on my business, I was mad at myself. I just had a lot of issues around. I think this would have brought me a lot of peace in those places. Today I'm going to be sharing 10 lessons that I've learned in my almost 10 years as a real estate agent. And let me just set the camera down real quick here. And I am saving the most important lesson for last. So be sure to stay tuned until the very end today. You are not going to want to miss anything today. I took some time to think through what are some of the most important lessons that I've learned, things I would want to know before I got in my license, or things that maybe you could even learn from if you're use if you're not a real estate agent, that I've learned over the last 10 years in real estate. And I came up with a list of 10 of them. Actually, there might be 11, we'll see. And I wrote it down here, so if I'm reading off it all, that's why. Before we get into those tips, the lessons, I'll give a little bit of an introduction, just a little bit of background so you know where I'm coming from. 10 years ago, at the time of filming this, I was 17. It was fall of my senior year of high school, and I would be turning 18 in the next few months. I had no clue what I wanted to do after high school. I was raised by entrepreneurs, like business owners, not in the real estate realm necessarily, but just like hardcore entrepreneurs, if that makes sense. Never really saw my family living like a 9-to-5 life. And so because of that, I honestly just couldn't imagine myself living like that either. I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I knew I wanted to be a business owner. However, how many things are there that you can do when you're 18 right out of high school? Like how many things can you just start doing and work for yourself realistically? I don't know. All my friends at this time were starting to get accepted into colleges and figure out what they wanted to do after high school, and I still had absolutely no ideas. I remember one day clearly, I was in my bedroom, fall time, again, fall of my senior year of high school, and I just said out loud something to the effect of, God, I have no idea what I'm going to do after high school. Nothing sounds appealing to me. I have no ideas. So you're gonna have to just drop something right in front of me because I've got nothing. And so I said that and kind of just stopped thinking about it because it was honestly really stressing me out. And shortly after I said that prayer, randomly, my sister randomly suggested to me, she was like, hey, you would be really good at real estate. Have you ever thought about becoming a real estate agent? And at the time, I knew nothing about real estate. Like when I tell you I did not know what real estate agents did, I'm not exaggerating, because I wasn't around anyone that was a real estate agent. Like there were no key people in my life that were real estate agents. Like it was not something at all on my radar. They didn't have all there were some real estate shows, but they didn't have all these big real estate shows on Netflix like they do now. Like this was not something I'd ever considered or thought about once. But as soon as my sister said that to me, I knew in my heart, I was 1000% certain that is exactly what I'm supposed to do. So as soon as she said that, knowing nothing about real estate or what real estate agents even do, I signed myself up for real estate school, because this was like I said, this was fall of my senior year of high school, and I turned 18 in January, and that is conveniently when the new real estate school was starting in my area. So I found a real estate school, found out it was starting in January, got myself all signed up. January came, turned 18, started taking classes at night during my senior year of high school to get my real estate license, and every single class was a literal confirmation to me that this is what I'm supposed to do. And what I mean by that was, every time I went to real estate school and I would learn more about, what it is real estate agents do, I would learn more about the industry, and every time it was a confirmation that this is what the ideal career is for me. I remember I had teachers at my senior exit interview try to tell me that real estate wasn't a real career. It's not a realistic career because I need a plan B, because what are you going to do if the market gets bad or whatever? And I remember saying something like, I can't have a plan B because it would distract me from plan A. And if I had a plan B, then it's going to give me an out when things get really hard, because I know at some point they will in real estate, especially in the beginning. I mean, there is a 90-something% chance that if you get your real estate license, you're not going to make it. You're not going to be licensed in 5 years from now, because it's not what people think. So I knew, if I'm going to do this and make it work, I can't have a plan B. This has to be 100%, all my eggs are in this basket. I'm going to figure it out and make it work. And I'm so thankful that was my mindset going into it, because honestly, if I had an out if I had a plan B, like I probably would have leaned back on it, because in the beginning times were really, really hard. But I'm happy to say that fast forward almost 10 years later, from beginning real estate school, I'm 27 now, turning 28 in a few months, and I've been a full-time realtor with no other job since then. A couple years after I got licensed, my husband Spencer quit his job and joined me, and we have been full commission, like commission only living, honestly, our entire adult life, and I would never ever have it any other way. I know everyone talks about 08, and like everyone always asks realtors, what are you gonna do when the market crashes again, like 08, like how are you gonna live? But honestly, guys, if we're talking statistically, there have been less sales in real estate statistically the last couple years than there were even in 08. I know I was just talking to my my lender friend on the phone about this the other day. He's been in the industry for over 40 years, so he's lived through a lot. 08 and plenty more, and he was even saying like, yeah, the last year or two has been harder for our industry, the real estate industry, than it was in 08. And like I said, statistically there were less deals happening over the last year or two. So I really feel as though if we can make it through and still keep a successful business running, which we have through that market, then I truly believe we can live through any market, because that was the worst market than we've seen in a very, very, very long time. Yes, we cut expenses in a lot of different areas. Yes, things definitely looked different in our industry and even for our business, but did we make it through? Yes. Like, did we lose our house or you know what I mean? Like, have to get another job during the worst time to be a real estate agent since even before 08? No. And so my whole point in saying all of this is because so many people have that mindset of like, oh, real estate's not a real job. What are you going to do when the market gets bad? Well, like, no, the market was just really, really bad. And like, we made it through, we'll do it again. That's really my mindset. And so, I don't know, that was a little tangent, but I guess that was just because I'm still a little salty from my senior exit interview when they told me that real estate's not a real job and I need to have a backup plan because it's commission only. No, that's not true. It is a real job. You can live happily commission only. Okay, so now with all of that being said, here are 10 lessons I've learned over the last almost 10 years in the business. My hope is that if you are a real estate agent or not, that you can grab some sort of value from today's video. I want to make sure that I don't miss anything because all of this is important stuff, but there is no way I'm going to sit here and memorize all of this. So if me reading off of this bothers you, hit the thumbs down button or let me know in the comments. If you don't mind, hit the thumbs up button or let me know in the comments. Okay, let's get into it. Lesson number 1 that I've learned over the last 10 years in real estate is that there is no other way. No other way to live than commission only. Everyone's personalities are different. Everyone's made to do different things and has different callings. But for me, I would never, ever, ever want to live any other way than commission only. Okay. If you are on the fence about getting your real estate license, or if you don't know if like this is the life for you, think about this. My husband and I talk about this a lot. There is no other job that you could just be like, well, maybe there is another job, but I don't know what. If you know, tell me. But what other job can you just be like, I want to do this, and I'm gonna need an extra $30,000. Let's just save that really quick. You can just sell 1 or 2 houses, and boom, you can have that saved. Things can happen really quickly. There have been many, many, many times in my husband and I's real estate career together where we have majorly pulled back. We just took 3 months off, for example. We just took over three. We were off for honestly like 5 months. We were not really working much. And we, for at least 3 of that, we were completely out of the country. And we did that by choice. We were able to just pull back and be like, hey, we're prepared for this. We were able to pull way back. We obviously didn't have commissions coming in, every month during that time because we also weren't working. But then we're able to come back and be like, we're ready to push now. Now we're ready to go make a lot of money in commissions. And we have the ability to do that. We get to decide. And then when we have another kid, someday we'll be like, let's majorly pull back again. For however long, like it's up to us, which is so cool because like what other career can you do that without having to have permission for your boss and all of the things? It really pisses me off when people say that it's a gamble. It's not a gamble. It's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. It's statistics. It's not a gamble. I work 2 days a week because I want to. If I really wanted to turn it up, I could work all 5. I remember back when I was interviewing at my first real estate brokerage, one of the questions they asked me is, why do you want to be a real estate agent? And one of the first answers I told them was because there is no glass ceiling. I don't want someone telling me this is the same. Like, I could never imagine living a life where you make the same amount of money every year, or maybe a tiny bit more. You get a little bit of a raise every year for like indefinitely. Like, that is crazy. So that's lesson number 1. And to go along with that, lesson number 2 is to go along with all of my little rant about the first thing I've learned, which is there's no other way to live than commission only. Now we're finally sprinkling in passive income, and having that as well, but like commission only, there's no other way to live. There's no other way to live this beautiful life. But to go along with that, once you've tasted living this way, like once you've tasted success in real estate, for example, you are really ruined for getting up at 5 and coming home at 4, or getting up at 8 and rushing out the door at 7 and coming home at 4 even, like every day having the boss tell you what to do. Like, you are ruined. You're ruined. You're never going to be able to live that way. You're ruined. Lesson number 2 is, while there is and can be a lot of freedom, the deals will not come to you. The deals will not come to you, and no one is going to hand you business. I don't care what kind of brokerage you're with. No one's handing you business. So it is completely up to you how much you make. Yes, there is no glass ceiling, but at the same time, it's also up to you to find out how to generate leads, the best way for you, the best way that works for you to generate leads, and then to go do it consistently and put it on your schedule. And sometimes, like when no one's telling you what to do, this is something like you, okay, sorry, just reading a text. I think that if you're coming from a 9-to-5 lifestyle where you're living for the weekends and all of that, you may be used to someone telling you what to do in order to like get off your butt and go do something for your work. But if you're going to be in real estate, like, you have to be able to tell yourself what to do and be. While you do and can have freedom, you experience the most freedom in your business when you also have discipline and structure and routines and systems. You've got to have systems. So there's kind of a balancing act between the two, if that makes sense. But all of this to say, the deals are not going to come to you. It's up to you to figure out what works for you. I know completely how to get business and what I need to do in order to get more of it. I know where my business comes from, and I know, okay, I need more business, got to go make more YouTube videos, or I need more business, got to get on the phone and make more calls. Like, I know I've really simplified it in my brain to like, okay, there's 2 things I need to do to get business. Either cold call or make YouTube videos, the right YouTube videos. Like, I've cut everything else out almost and simplified it so much that it's almost stupid. But you need to, first of all, come in with the right mindset that no one's going to hand you business, but also figure out like what works for you, and then go do that thing on a consistent basis and put it in your schedule and be structured and have systems and have a routine and have a schedule, even though you're an entrepreneur and you want flexibility and you can have that, but also we need to have like systems and structure with it. You know, I don't know if any of this makes sense. But anyway, lesson number 3 is, this is a people business. Real estate is a people business, and you're working with people during often a very stressful time in their life with the most biggest transaction they're ever going to make. Most amount of money that they're probably ever going to spend is on their house. And there's all kinds of people. Like, you're going to be working with all kinds of personality types, people you like, people you don't like, people that are like you, people that are nothing like you. So I think it would be very wise for you to educate yourself consistently about people skills, communication skills, and just like how to get along with all kinds of people easily. Those are things you need to educate yourself on a consistent basis. I really, truly do believe, if you want to have a successful business in real estate. Number 4, you need to live by your calendar. When you're an entrepreneur of any kind, but especially in real estate, you can't leave your day up to chance. Every time I leave my day up to chance, I regret it. I did this yesterday, and I don't even know where the day went. Honestly, I looked at the clock and I was like, it's noon, and I don't know what I'm done or what I'm doing or where I'm going. And I've said this before, but I work 2 days a week. I cram as much work as I can into those 2 days because I also really enjoy being a stay-at-home mom and want to live that like slow morning lifestyle, start the day with some arts and crafts and some long walks and a leisurely breakfast and a cup of tea outside on my deck. Like, that's the kind of life I want to live. But then I also want like 2 days of like hustle, cram in those Zoom calls, go show some properties. And it's not all day. Like, when I work, it's literally a few hours during those 2 days. So it's extremely minimal, guys. It's possible, but all of this to say, you got to have a calendar. So if I'm having 2 days a week that I'm working, I need to know exactly what things I'm doing on those 2 days before it gets to that point. Otherwise, I'm going to be scrambling. I'm going to get distracted. I'm going to start doing something else. Like, you got to write your schedule the week before, or at least like the day before, and know what you're doing. And how do you decide? How do you fill your schedule when you're a new agent and you don't have anything on your schedule? Well, you look at what are the most important things to move the needle in my business and the most dollar producing activities, which is what's going to bring you the leads in the business that you need. Lesson number 5. This is a really good one. You don't need your friends and family to work with you to have a successful real estate business. In fact, don't expect them to work with you at all, and you'll be better off. When I got my real estate license, I started out by cold calling and working with for sale by owners. My business came almost entirely from for sale by owners the first 3 years, I'd say, in the business. And here's the thing. I did do a few things to try to get my sphere of influence to work with me. I'd sent out, the mailers asking for referrals and whatever. Like, I didn't really try that hard. But here's the thing. Nobody was going to use me because I was 18 and they didn't trust this 18-year-old girl that just graduated high school. Like, I literally don't blame them for not using me. No one is going to use you when you're new, especially when you're young. Okay, if you're older, maybe you can start out with some sphere of influence, whatever. But if you're young, don't expect anyone to use you. What you can do, though, is work with people that don't know you. And then once you've proven yourself, you'll start to get referrals. Now that we are almost 10 years in, we do get people we know, sphere of influence, that type of thing, working with us. It's still not a huge pillar of our business because we honestly don't really try to get that pillar of our business. Once they see your track record, they see, testimonials that start coming in for you and you start posting them on Facebook from satisfied clients. They see, oh, she sold that house. Okay, maybe she does know what she's doing. Then you'll start to get people using you. If you don't expect them to work with you, though, then you're not going to get hurt feelings when they don't. Because even if you're doing everything to stay in front of them and be the best realtor, and you literally are the best realtor, you've been in the business for 40 years, like, people are still going to not work with you that for whatever the heck reasons. And you can't let it ruffle your feathers because it's going to happen, and you can't let it offend you. You can't take it personally. I am thankful that I didn't work with people I know or previously knew before the transaction when I was brand new, because I didn't know what I was doing. Your first few transactions, you can prepare all you want, but you're gonna fumble your way through them in some ways. You're gonna make some mistakes because you're new and you don't know what you're doing. And this honestly is a learn as you go, learn on the job, learn on the fly type of industry. You're not going to know what you're doing before you start. You have to be okay with just starting before you're ready. And I'm so thankful that those practice transactions were on complete strangers that I never had to talk to again, not on my friends and family, okay? I'm thankful for that. 6 is, this is a business. You have to run it like a business and treat it like a business. This is not a hobby. This is not, you have to have systems in place. Number 7 is develop systems as early as you possibly can in your business. What's an example of a system? What do you do when a new lead comes in? You have your step-by-step system, your process of what you do, how you do things. What's your system for filming your YouTube videos and putting them out there? Like, you can systemize anything in your business, and you can educate yourself on systems if you aren't exactly sure what I mean. I've done videos in the past about like what systems I have for my business and really gone in depth in this. So go to my channel and find the videos that I've made about systems for your real estate business, because that's where I've really deep dived on this and gone really in depth. But just as soon as you can, as early as possible, create systems in place. Lesson number 8 is that people work with people that they know, like, and trust. Video marketing is the best way, because if you've been watching my videos for a while, you probably feel like you know me and you maybe like me. If you don't, then you probably will stop watching them, or you probably won't reach out to me and to work with me, which is fine. But if you do like me, then you'll reach out to work with me, and you probably feel like you can trust me a lot more than if I just posted a picture. Okay, incorporating video marketing and just being a person, not having it perfect, just like getting over yourself and just being okay with putting out imperfect content online helps people know, like, and trust you. And that, in my opinion, is the easiest way to start getting business and to get people to feel like they know, like, and trust you. Lesson number 9, this lesson took me way too long to learn, and that is scheduling your days off and scheduling your days on helps you to not feel guilty for working when you are working. If you're a mom, you might not feel guilty for working if you're not a mom. I know I didn't. And not feeling guilty for not working when you aren't working, if that makes sense. I know when I was the first 5 at least years in my real estate business, I did not have any planned scheduled days ever. I really just woke up and worked, and every day was a work day. Like, I never would schedule a day off. And if I did, like, say my friends wanted to go somewhere fun, I would do that, and that would be my off day. But I really didn't live this intentional, like, every Friday I don't work, you know what I'm saying? And because of that, I feel like I was always working. When I became a mom, I changed my schedule to where I have 2 days a week. It's the same days every week. And this has given me so much clarity and peace of mind, because now I know if it is a Monday, Wednesday, or a Friday and I'm not working, or Saturday or Sunday, I just still do work on those days, but those aren't my days where I have, childcare and I'm intentionally trying to work. If something comes in and I need to do it, I'll do it during my daughter's nap time, or now that she's older, quiet time in the afternoon. But other than that, like, I'm full on dedicated to just enjoying my life, being a mom, play dates, whatever the heck I want to do. And I do not feel guilty. But before I started doing this, I would feel, when I wasn't working and I was just with my daughter, I would feel like, oh my gosh, I'm getting behind in my business. Oh my gosh, what should I be doing? Should I be working? Should I not be working? I don't know, what should I do today? Like, there was no clarity there, if that makes sense. But now I'm like, all the way on when I'm on and all the way off when I'm off. And then when I am working, I don't feel bad, because I know, yes, today maybe is a packed day. I'm cramming a lot into this like one work day. But yesterday, I got so much one-on-one and connection time with my daughter. Tomorrow, I'm gonna get that again too. So, like, there's so much clarity and peace of mind. That's what works for me, and that might not be what works for you. I know plenty of people want to run their business to where their kids in daycare and like they're working 9 to 5, and if that's what you want and that's what works best for your brain, that's fine. But for me, and like my goals as a parent, my goals in real estate, that's just what works best for me. Okay, so scheduling, and I don't even, if you're someone who plans to work full time, not 2 days a week like me, or if you plan to, you're not even a parent and you don't care about that, like, I still think there's a ton of value in scheduling your days off and scheduling your days on. Because when I was not a mom, I always felt guilty for not working. Like, if I wasn't working on my business, I was mad at myself. I just had a lot of issues around that area, if that makes sense. So I think this would have brought me a lot of peace in those places. I didn't have peace back then, if that makes sense, if I would have started doing this earlier. Number 10, the lesson number 10 is, this is the best career in the entire world, and you could never convince me otherwise. Statistically, we're going back to statistics again. Realtors are statistically the happiest people on their jobs. Warning, I said this before, but I really mean this. After being a successful realtor, you will be ruined for a 9-to-5 job, living for the weekend, having to ask for, days off, and making the same amount of money consistently with no opportunity to make like an insane amount in 2 months. Like, who wants to live like that? Not me. So I have a bonus tip, and honestly, this is something I wish I would have known when I was a brand new realtor, and that is, one, I wish I would have bought Real Broker stock earlier. And I am telling you right now, if you are a real estate agent or not, if you are with Real Broker or not, go watch some videos about it and educate yourself. Like, I am amazed at how much money we are able to have in stocks from Real Broker. Honestly, most of it's been given to us for free, just from reaching certain milestones in our business and selling houses like we would have. And now we have this money sitting here that we can pull out, some of it now, some of it in a year from now. That was like, much of it was literally given to us for free from our company. And it is grown an insane amount, and it only has so much room to grow, because Real Broker only has like 1% of all realtors in the US or whatever, like, are with Real Broker right now. There's an insane amount of growth. It's the fastest growing real estate brokerage in the world. If you are not familiar, well, thank me later if you buy some Real Broker stock. Like I mentioned, I get a lot of it for free. because they reward their agents with stock for just literally selling houses. Like, my old brokerage did not do that at all. But if you are going to go out of your way and just buy it because you're not with Real Broker, please do, and thank me later. And if you're not sure, go watch some videos about it, educate yourself on Real Broker stock. Number 2 is I really believe I would be doing you a disservice if I did not tell you that my biggest regret is not joining Real Broker sooner. This is not me trying to get you to join me at Real Broker. Like, I honestly, truly believe that I would be doing you a disservice. If you are a producing agent or plan to be a producing agent, this company is built for you. It is insane. Their wealth building platform. There's over 9 now different ways of earning income at Real Broker. One of them is, like I mentioned, that stock. You get free stock for reaching certain milestones in your business, and the stock is doing so well. I wish I would have known. Like, I could have saved myself easily $40,000 a year in caps, splits, commission splits, all of that, fees, if I would have joined Real Broker sooner, and would have also had a lot more passive income. We are growing passive income through being with Real Broker, which has been amazing. This is my warning to you. If you don't know about Real Broker, like, dude, do some educating. I have an entire playlist called Real Broker Explained or something like that. Go check it out. Watch some of those videos when you get the chance. Listen to them in your car and you drive home, and you will seriously thank me later. And if you are considering joining Real Broker, or if you have questions about it and want to see if it's a good fit for you or not, I would love to hop on a Zoom call with you. I do Zoom calls with agents often who are thinking about switching to Real. Shoot me an email and we can get a Zoom call on the schedule today. That's it for today's video. Feel free to leave any comments, questions, video suggestions in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time.